Welcome back everybody for another video. Today is going to be a nice sit-down video since we're reaching the end of the year, and I thought it would be an amazing thing to do the first time tag, especially that it's the first year and first time a lot of us have ever been through a pandemic, so I thought it would be pretty epic to do this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Here are 20 things that I've done or liked or interacted with for the first time. Thought I would start out the whole thing by telling you what the first word that I ever said was, and I voice noted my mom and I was like, what was the first word that I ever said? And as all of you probably expect, it was mama, which means mom. I'm pretty sure I didn't even have to say that, but anyways, that was the first thing. The first language I ever spoke was Arabic, because that is my mother tongue. The first instrument I ever learned how to play was the violin, actually, when I was about 8 or 9, I want to say. And I used to be obsessed with how it sounded when I was young, so my parents bought me one and put me in lessons, but I didn't really follow through with it because I had a bad teaching experience. So if you want to be technical, maybe the first instrument that I actually learned how to play like properly would be the piano, because that came afterwards. The first time I ever broke a bone was when I was 6. I was at school, I was running after school trying to find my brother because the bus driver threatened to leave without him, and as I was running I tripped over like a couple of steps and I fell and I broke my arm. It was my right arm actually. My first favorite color, I bet you a lot of you are like, why would you need to know that? But me and my brother had this really big thing with favorite colors when we were young, and that his favorite color had to be red and mine had to be blue. We even had a day where we decided to switch. It was quite funny. But yeah, the first color I remember really liking when I was young was blue. And it's funny because things come full circle because it's my favorite color now, so. My first favorite dish has got to be this Arabic dish called mlokhiyya, which is kind of like this spinachy, saucy thing. You know, we have it with chicken and rice, and the rice has vermicelli in it as well. And the only reason I can remember that so vividly is because I used to remember like singing while running down the stairs to go to the dinner table. When I'd find out that that's what we were having, I'd just keep telling my brother, oh, mlokhiyya, mlokhiyya, mlokhiyya. I'd be so excited. So I remember that. So I think definitely that's my first favorite dish. My first friend. It's definitely gotta be a family friend. Because you meet them before you go to school. I do love those family friendships so much because like literally they're riddled in nostalgia, and like it's even nicer when you can like have them for a long time. Luckily for me and my first friend, I would say it was Hani. Shout out to you. Here's a picture of us when we were really young. But me, him, and my brother like literally knew each other like since the day I was born or something like that. Which was quite nice, and we're still friends now. Very thankful for that friendship. But yeah, that's my first friend. My first pet, I would say, was a fish or fish. We had this big aquarium in my house, and my mom used to buy a lot of fish and put them in there, and I just used to remember such fun times with me and my brother and my mom feeding them when we were young, and just looking at the light in the aquarium was really nice to me. I remember that very vividly. Other than fish, like in terms of like a pet that was like that I could hold, I would say a rabbit. The first video I ever edited was probably when I was 9, and actually, fun fact, my mom was the one that taught me how to edit videos. She started teaching me how to like put pictures and words together on Windows Live Movie Maker. And the first thing I decided to do was try and make a lyric video for Numb by Linkin Park. So I remember that very vividly too. Like, I remember just sat there being amazed by what Windows Live Movie Maker could do for me. And I was like, I can't believe I'm making what I see on YouTube. Ooh. So yeah, that was the first video. The first teachers to have ever taught me. I remember their first names, I don't remember their last names, but Miss Belinda and Miss Ursula. So basically, I actually like entered school younger than you're supposed to, at like 3 years old, and they were my KG1 teachers. And I remember being in that class like very clearly because me and my brother were in the same like class, because he's 1 year older than me, so since I started early, we're in the same class. So I remember a lot of things from that class because we did things together. But yeah, they were my first teachers. I don't remember much about them, to be honest, but I think it's good to appreciate the teachers, whoever they are, in your whole life, because they've helped, you know, create some of the knowledge that you have today. The first country I ever traveled to was Jordan. Now, I'm originally Palestinian with a Jordanian passport, but I was born in Qatar. So the first country I actually visited was Jordan, which is where like my citizenship is. The first university offer I received, so I only applied to the UK through UCAS, and the 5 universities that I applied to were the University of Sheffield, University of Nottingham, Cardiff University, which I'm in, Swansea University, and Loughborough University. And out of all 5 of them, the first one that I received back as an unconditional was the University of Sheffield, and then all the other universities thankfully came through with unconditionals too. So yeah, I thought I'd put this in because I genuinely feel like that was such a long time ago, and like realizing that I'm in the 3rd year of university now, I was like, I want to put this in as an ode to this journey that I've been on. So yeah. The first YouTube video that I ever released, I want to say, was either late 2015 or beginning of 2016, and I had done it for my personal project in the IB. So my personal project was to start a YouTube channel, and it was this video called Introductions, and it was pretty much me just writing down some thoughts and saying them over like a bunch of like reels, basically. It's still out there somewhere. I'm not gonna mention what it's called, but it's out there. But yeah, that was really fun, and I feel like that was the first time I kind of stepped foot in this world, which I love very much now because it just pushes me to be creative, to make more like content, and to kind of improve my skills in that regard. The first book I ever read, I probably don't know what that was, like a proper like kids book, I don't know, but like if I was gonna think of like the first novel or novella that I've ever read, that would have to be Max the Missing Puppy, and I think I was in year 4 at the time. The first poem that I've ever written is in this book, and it's a poem called A Rose in the Snow. I wrote this in May 2017. I got into poetry quite late in my life. Well, late is not that late, but I mean like relatively. In my 17th year of living, and I'm 20, quite late. Anyways, I really love writing poetry more than reading it, just because I feel like it's such a nice way to express myself. The first social media account that I ever made was Facebook. And me and my family friends like pretty much made it around the same time because we all wanted to play Farmville. I don't really remember how old I was. I want to say maybe 12, 11, something like that. But yeah, we were on Farmville all the time, like all the time. And then even my mom joined, and it was just so fun. She ended up like beating all of our levels, but yeah, Facebook. My first favorite subject was math. I think it was definitely math. I feel like a lot of people would be surprised to know that, but I do still love math. I don't mind it at all. I love that it feels like a game sometimes, because like if you have so many equations, you're trying to get them right. I don't know, at least for me it was. My dad used to give us like problems all the time, and used to have to try and solve them, and I enjoyed that very much. It didn't remain my favorite subject though. English probably took the lead like during secondary, but definitely my first favorite subject was math. First album that I've ever listened to was like on my own, like where I had the full album and without anyone's input, was Bruno Mars's Hooligans album, which I think is an exceptional album even till this day. Man, it was such a special experience because I just felt for the first time that I had my own music taste, because I wasn't listening to an artist that was on Disney Channel or an artist that my brothers or anyone in my family listened to. The first paid job that I've ever done in my life was in 2019. I worked with my university and I was a student ambassador, so helping all the people that were like just, you know, coming fresh out of school or about to come fresh out of school, to look around and to try and convince them to come to our uni. It was amazing. It was amazing to do something and get paid for it. Like, I feel like genuinely makes it so much sweeter. The first film that I've ever watched in the cinema was probably Avatar. The one with the blue guys running around everywhere in the jungle or something. I don't even remember. But I remember enjoying that film and enjoying the experience so much, because I'm pretty sure I also watched it in 3D. And that was like, that just blew my mind. I don't know, it blew my mind. But thank you, Arwad, for taking me in Uwais. That was like one of the firsts for me. This video has made me feel like I've gone down memory lane, to be honest, and I love it. It's made me feel really grateful and very thankful. Again, this video made it essentially just to remind you all that this is the first time we're going through a pandemic, and it's okay not to be in complete control yet or to have everything sorted. Give yourself some credit for just, you know, getting through and getting by. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope you guys stay happy and stay healthy, and again, make sure you give yourself some credit, be grateful, maybe look through these 20 things and think about all the 21st that you've done, and go down, you know, memory lane with me. Again, have a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next month.